Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Dia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Dia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Me and Molson-Z has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Me and Molson-Z, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon upon Beam, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for some great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. Coming soon to the MikeWagnerShow.com. Get t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, throw pillows, tote bags, and more. Makes great gift ideas, especially for any occasion. And also check out the Me and Motion Zia store on Amazon. You can check out all his great books, including Missing, Once, Wrinkles, and t-shirts, hoodies, and more. Go to Amazon.com and check out the Me and Motion Zia store. And don't forget to check out the Mike Wagner Show. Also, 30 podcast platforms, and support the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com. Click on donate. Also give generously on Anchor FM/support and PayPal. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific gentleman who's not just an actor, also a writer, a director, and he's the founder of a wonderful movie studio that's based in Orlando, Florida, and he's award-winning. So we'll talk more about that. And he's from Cincinnati, moved to Milan, Italy, and now he's in Orlando and attended University of Central Florida. He's got a great story about that, and he's also won numerous awards for Best Script, Best Action, Best Original Screenplay at various fests in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Chicago, and more. And we'll be talking about his brand new movie, The Local. He's also had some ones that got some great recognition. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Orlando, the very multi-talented and award-winning and the founder of Movie Nights, Dalton Burdette. Dalton, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. What a pleasant introduction. That was very kind of you.
Well, it's great to have you on board too. And I mean, with all the accolades that you've had so far, it's like it's worthy of that type of introduction. I mean, I was watching one of your movies and I thought, oh, that's amazing. So makes you want to go to Hollywood for all this too. But then again, Hollywood could come to Orlando. Who knows? So
yeah, I mean, it would certainly make gas money a lot easier if they went ahead and just came here. So
oh, there's no question. There's no question. Before we talk about your career, there's a thing I read that what was it, Universal Studios, or was it NBC Universal? They're talking about coming to Albuquerque to establish some studio space out there. They're leaving Los Angeles, and I think there's going to be a trend that a lot of these film companies will be leaving California once and for all. So, that's kind of starting a trend.
Yeah, no, I've heard that Albuquerque's got some really good tax incentives out there, and that's the magic word that a lot of producers and filmmakers like to hear.
Hey, just ask Steven Spielberg. Who is it? Not Spielberg, but I'm trying to think. George Lucas from Star Wars. He bought like half the state of Montana just for his Star Wars projects. Bought the half the state of Montana. Very little taxes. I mean, he started something pretty good. So.
Oh yeah.
And of course, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about your amazing career, Dalton, and you're the founder of Movie Nights, and also you're an award-winning actor, and you came from Cincinnati, moved to Milan, Indiana. You're now in Orlando. You attended University of Central Florida. You also won numerous awards like Best Script, Best Action, and Best Original Screenplay at various fests in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Chicago. And you also had some previous works like No More Safe Haven, The Long Hard Day, Contrition, and also a brand new movie out called The Local. We'll talk about that. And before we get into all that, Dalton, tell us how I first got started.
Well, first getting started, I've loved movies ever since I was a kid. I used to watch them with my mama. She used to, take me into the room and we'd watch like these old 50s B movies that she used to watch when she was a kid.
Oh yeah, 50s movie. Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
boy, that's like a throwback. What, like they come out like at midnight, 1 or 2 in the morning or something?
Hmm.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
the sci-fi channel for a while would play like those old 50s movies, and she would always, watch them with me. And so, the world of movies kind of got open to me when I was really young, but the idea of potentially trying to get into that world and get behind the camera to start making them and starring in them didn't really hit me till probably around early high school. And, at that point, it was just kind of, well, what, how, when, why? Like, there's no handbook on this thing, so you kind of just have to do some research and just do some tests with your own projects. Like, I started making home movies with some friends. I started, taking classes. Like, my school had like a morning show class, so I was like, oh, that's something camera. Let's do that. So, just kind of did what I could there. And it wasn't until I got to college, excuse me, at UCF, where I met the people I'm still working with now with movie nights, where they had different skill sets, but were equally as passionate about, wanting to do something like this. And fortunately, when I think No More Safe Haven was my first official film, and we shot that going into my final year in college. So it was right
Oh
around
wow.
there where we started.
Hmm. And what was it one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career? Besides watching the movies, getting into college and high school and everything, what was that one precise moment that simply said, "This is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life"?
Honestly, it was probably uh, when I was signing up for college classes, because like everyone knows the struggle that an 18-year-old goes through. It's like, here, make this decision that's going to potentially affect the next 10, 20 years of your life. And I was sitting there looking at all the options because, like, I had decent grades in school. It's not like this is the only thing I could have gone into. And I kind of just looked down and I was like, if I do anything else, I'm going to be miserable.
Hmm.
So right there. And then I was like, this is the moment I'm deciding, and just signed up for, the film classes. And here we are.
At UCF, and what was the reason for choosing UCF over other schools?
Well, I looked at a couple schools. I looked at Full Sail University for a little bit. They're also in Orlando.
Hmm.
My only trepidation with them is, while they have a lot of equipment, a lot of hands-on learning at the time, and I don't know if it is still or not, but at the time it wasn't an accredited school. So just
Yeah.
just in case something happened and I had to drop out or something, I wanted to make sure that I had at least some credits going for me. And so I fell in love with the Orlando area. I moved to Florida when I was pre-teenager, and I didn't really like where I was in Florida, but I always loved Orlando. And so I was like, well, right across the bay here, well, the bay, right up the road is UCF. And I went and took a little tour, got to see some of their film options. They had a BFA option that you could apply for, or if you just got into the school, you could do the BA option, which is what I did, and just fell in love with it once I was there.
Wow, that is amazing. And who are some of your favorite actors and actresses and your favorite movies growing up?
Ooh, favorite actors and actresses. Right now, I'd say like working today. My favorite actress is probably Anya Taylor-Joy. She recently did a Netflix miniseries called The Queen's Gambit, which was really, really good. And she's done a lot of. She was in a movie called Thoroughbreds a few years ago. That was amazing.
Hmm.
One of my favorite actors working today, probably, probably Timothy Chalamet. I mean, I know that's kind of a, a young person answer to say, but he's just so good for how young he is. And my favorite actor of all time, though, and favorite actress of all time, on a favorite actor of all time, probably Jack Nicholson. Favorite actress of all time, probably, okay. This is going to be like a silly answer, but it's probably Mary Tyler Moore.
I've no problem with that. She's one of my favorites too. Is like watching Mary Tyler Moore show. It's like you
Yeah,
instantly fell in love with her, even with those Whirlpool commercials. Or was it Hot Point? She was like what, 16 or 17 at the time and pregnant. It's like, oh my goodness, how would you pull that off?
yeah. No, she was just a very multi-talented, multifaceted actress. And every time I revisit some of her stuff or watch some of her stuff, it just encapsulates me right away.
That's really interesting too. And you've been in Central Florida for quite some time. You grew up in Cincinnati, and tell us about your journey going from Cincinnati to Milan, Italy, to Orlando.
Well, Milan, Italy would have been cool. I lived in Milan, Indiana. It
Oh,
was
Milan. I'm sorry. Okay.
no, 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 it's okay. It was in Indiana. It was basically when you're in the Cincinnati area, you're from one of three places. It's the tri-state area of Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio.
Hmm.
And I was born in Ohio, but I lived in Indiana, just across the bridge. So I was born. We went over to Indiana. That's where I lived up until around middle school age, and I just lived up there on, in the cornfields and the forest, and then moved to Florida when I was about 11 or 12, and started middle school down in Florida, in Citrus County, Florida. And I'd been familiar with the Orlando area even before the move, because like once a year when I lived in Indiana, my family would take vacations to Disney World.
Okay.
And so, my one kind of like how I viewed Florida was Orlando for a certain period of time until I moved into Citrus County, Florida,
Hmm.
which I have a love-hate relationship with it. There are a lot of people there who really believe in, doing good things for the community and want to help the community. And, those people are the reason why I like to visit sometimes, and I like to go visit those people again. And I met a lot of really great friends there, people I consider my brothers. I lived there. But, at the same time, when you're young and you move, it can be very almost traumatic in a way, and it was hard to get used to. And I just wanted to get to the Florida that I remembered, which was Orlando. So
Hmm.
really, when choosing colleges, it was all right. It's going to be Full Sail, UCF. I toyed with Stetson for a little bit, but that went away, and I just was like, if I'm going to stay in the state, it's going to be Orlando.
Hmm. That's really interesting too. And you also formed movie nights as well too. We'll talk about that along with your awards and your other projects as well too, along with the local. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international war ring author Mian Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mian Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Z has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forrest Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Girls Missing by Mia Molson-Z, available on Amazon. And don't forget to check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, and for 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, Audible, and Amazon Music, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Check out the Mike Wagner Show merchandise at the MikeWagnerShow.com, and also on Amazon as well too. And don't forget to check out the Me and Molson Zia store on Amazon, like Missing, Once, Wrinkles, and more, along with t-shirts, hoodies, and other apparel. And don't forget to support the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com with your generous donation. And don't forget to donate also to Anchor FM/support and PayPal at the Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you do so today. We're here with the founder of Movie Nights Production and award-winning actor Dalton Burdette here on the Mike Wagner Show. And he's currently in Orlando right now. And tell us about Movie Nights and how you guys got formed and how you got started. Tell us about the company.
Well, it started off as we wanted to like make some little short films or make some skits for family members. And we were all big fans of YouTube. We're like, oh, let's start a YouTube channel. And then we were all at UCF. The UCF mascot is the Knights. So we were like, oh, movie nights, because we think we're clever. So
that's clever.
Yeah, no, so it started off as that. And then I was really interested in movie podcasting, because that's something that has a fan base on the internet, but it's kind of a particular group who got like popular doing it. But there are tons of smaller channels who are kind of good, but they just don't have the resources. And it's just something, it was a conversation that I loved being a part of. I loved talking about, what just came out of the Hollywood Reporter, what just came out of Variety. Oh, what does that deal, that multi-million dollar deal for this studio, what does that mean? How's that going to affect movies going forward? Like, that's always fascinated me. And I thought that movie nights can be more than just a company that produces films. It can just be something all about film, whether it's filmmaking, film loving, or film talking.
And
And
of course,
so,
one of them as well too. No More Safe Haven got picked up for theatrical distribution in Los Angeles. I mean, that tells you something.
yeah, no. And, it's just something that we all decided on. We were what, 19, 20 something when we came up with that. And it's been a long time. It's been like 2015 we started.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that just kind of hit me now. But yeah, and then 2017 we shot No More Safe Haven, and it didn't get picked up for theatrical distribution until 2 years later.
Oh
But
wow!
in 2019, but that was a lot. That was a huge surprise and a lot of fun. A gentleman named Derek Quick, who had this company called Forwald, was basically reaching out to a bunch of short films that he had seen and was trying to combine them into one like 2 hour package to show at a theater in Los Angeles, because he's like, I know how hard it is for short films to get off the ground, and I want them to be seen in the theatrical experience, but you can't just rent out a theater for 6 minutes. You have like 2 hours, and if you're going to have 2 hours, you might as well put 2 hours of films worth together and do it. So it's this project that he set out to do, and I was very fortunate enough for him to want to include No More Safe Haven in that. And it was so fun. I got to go out to LA and buy a ticket to my own thing. It was super, super cool.
And he also had contrition as well too. I don't think we discussed that. And maybe just tell us a bit about that before we talk about the local.
Yeah, no, Contrition was part of the Orlando Independent Filmmakers Edge Challenge, I believe it was called, because the movie nights had kind of tossed around wanting to do a horror film, because I'd really wanted to do one. And my friend Nicholas and he co-wrote the story with me. It started off as just like a home invasion story, and then we involved it to kind of have like a sci-fi twist to it, and we were able to write, shoot, and get that out for the Orlando Independent Filmmakers Edge Challenge, which we were fortunate enough to win Best Editing at. And it was just a fun little short film, a fun little horror short film. It was only like 6 minutes in length, but it had subject matter that was really important to me. And I wanted to kind of explore the themes of guilt, but
Mm.
through a horror lens. A lot of the times guilt is seen through a dramatic lens or a drama lens, and that's not a bad thing. But something about guilt that a lot of people don't really, at least that I don't see people conversing a lot about, is how scary it is if you feel guilty about something and wanting to receive catharsis or wanting to hide it. Like, that whole thought process is very scary, and I wanted to kind of show the fear in that.
It sounds pretty much like this is like a groundbreaking genre in a sense. I've never heard of it, but it sounds groundbreaking.
Yeah, no, it was just inspired by, to me, horror is one of the best genres in film. How many great filmmakers have come from horror? You have Sam Raimi, who went on to do the Spider-Man movies. He started off with The Evil Dead, which was made for like $20. You have, you have
20 bucks.
Spielberg did Jaws. You have the Richard Donner, who just recently passed away. He did The Omen in 1976. He
Oh,
went on
I
to do
remember
films
the
like,
opening. Yes, that was like what, spinoff or competition to the Exorcist. Oh my.
yeah. And then he went on to make Superman. So, that's where that genre is, just where creativity has no limits, because you have to figure out how to not only tell a good story and have good characters, but scare people. And in a space that's already subjective in nature, what's also subjective is what I find scary might not be what you find scary. So you have to kind of hit these different levels of, okay, we need to make sure that if we're going to scare that type of person, that we also need to scare that type of person, but we also have to
Huh.
make sure that it doesn't compromise the story that we're trying to tell. And horror gets a bad rep, and there are a ton of bad horror movies that are just all about gore and sex and all this stuff. But then there are a handful, even some that have come out in recent years, like Ari Aster's Hereditary, that deal with these really deep themes that really kind of get you thinking after the movie ends.
It made me think of when you talk about horror, like, how some of the directors first got started and then they went on to bigger and better things. And a lot of original ideas have come from horror as well, too. And the one I think of is like the Blair Witch Project, which was
Hmm.
done completely on a handheld movie camera. It's like, all this bobbing going up and down and everything. But all of a sudden, it just opened up a brand new market where you can go ahead and make a movie on your home camera. And nowadays, you can also make a movie on your iPhone, a smartphone, or your Android device.
Yeah, and it's funny you bring up Blair Witch because the directors of that movie graduated from UCF.
Really? Oh my
Yep.
gosh, what a
Hmm.
small world.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. And of course, you also had won some awards as well too, and especially one of them, the local. We'll talk about that. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international war ring author Mia Molson's You Have Missing, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. We'll be back with the founder of Movie Nights Productions and award-winning actor Dalton Burdette after this timeout. We're back with founder of Movie Nights and award-winning actor, director Dalton Burdette here on the Mike Wagner Show. And before we talk about the local, it has won best script at the LA Sun Film Fest and award for merit for best action in Vegas. And also, you could also tell us about more of the awards it also picked up as well.
Yeah, it won the awards you just mentioned, and also just recently at the IndieX Film Fest, the Michael Shank and Vittoria Rezanetti, two of the actors in the film, won Best Supporting Actor and Best Supporting Actress,
Nice.
which is very exciting for them. They both gave excellent performances. They deserved it. And, I'm just thrilled that the movie comes out very soon. And I'm just thrilled that, some of the festivals are embracing it and are enjoying it. It had a lot of hard work that was put into it. And, the big goal with that film is we want, because when you watch it, it kind of feels like a much longer story just told in 30 minutes. And the goal with that film is to have someone watch it who's interested in investing in a feature film, and so we can take this idea and make it into a feature-length movie. That would be a lot of fun.
And also has an interesting storyline in as well too that also relates to what's happening in society, where a new gang arrives in town and it's up to a retired hometown hero trying to save the day, and gets into conflict. And maybe just tell us a bit about that, and what's the theme of the movie, and what can people simply get out of the local.
I think the theme of the movie, the what the story I wanted to tell, like the story behind the story, was the dangers of unrealistic expectations that you can put on somebody.
Mm.
And that's something that I witnessed a lot when I was in school. I witnessed brilliant kids, brilliant students who you didn't have to tell them that they do your homework. You didn't have to tell them, make sure you're taking notes. They did all of it themselves. They were self-motivated. And then suddenly, when people found out that they were good at that subject or good at that class, then suddenly a lot more interest became into that person. And then suddenly it was someone was checking on them every 10 minutes, like, hey, are you doing that thing that you were supposed to be good at? Because I told people you were good at this, so you better keep up and be good at that. And then what
Mm.
happens? And then what happens to those kids is suddenly they start to get worse. And it's not because they don't like what they're doing. They loved what they were doing, but they loved it without you getting up in their face and trying to take away the thing that they liked doing. And it makes a whole lot more sense if you've seen the movie, but that's really what's kind of going on with the lead character at a much more dramatized level than that. And it's just him kind of succumbing to the expectations of this town that he lived in, and even though deep down he still has this desire and want to help people.
Mm-hmm. And of course, in talking about coming to help as well, too, that I guess you kind of wonder is, where's the police involved, or is there any law enforcement, or how effective is law enforcement when it comes if that hometown hero doesn't is not able to come through?
Yeah, we that was something that we talked about a couple times in the movie. And one of the early versions of the script, there was more than one scene with police involved. And one of the reasons why we had to cut it out was one, just budget restrictions, and getting permission to like have someone wear a police uniform out in public. It's very complicated to do. And not only that, but with because this movie, The Local, is based off of old Western movies,
Mm.
where but except with old Western movies, a hero strolls into town that he's not from, you know, hurts the bad guy, everyone celebrates, and then he leaves. And what we kind of wanted to what we wanted to do with The Local was, what if the hero doesn't leave? What if he lives there? What are the consequences of saving the day, and then having everyone look back at you and be like, well, when are you going to do it again? And that's so cutting out law enforcement and just addressing in the movie, like, there's not that many cops in this area, is to kind of hammer home the expectation that had been put on this character to kind of let other characters in this world feel like it wasn't their responsibility, it was his.
And do you think social media or today's society is pretty much embracing that idea, or more like enforcing that message?
Uh, yes and no. I think that the good news is I think that social media allows people to see other parts of the world that they never would have otherwise seen. And so you're seeing a lot of people decide upon themselves that they want to make a difference, that they want to do better, that they want to try out new things in this world that they've just been introduced to. And I think on that level, it's great. But on the opposite side of that, you then have people who see the other side of the world, but then decide for themselves, I'm perfectly comfortable with my life and where I'm at. And, I don't think there should be any shame in that. But then you have other people who try to shame others into feeling that way. So I think it's both a good and bad thing. And, I don't think the internet creates good or bad. I think it's just a catalyst for both.
And do you think would this encourage more people to get out and help, or be cautious, or is it end up like people will end up like staying away from helping?
What I hope comes from this is if you feel a call to action, if you feel that you can make a difference doing something and you have a want and desire to do it, that you shouldn't let anything else stop you from doing so. But on the flip side, if you think that if someone else is capable of that, but they don't have that passion, don't have that desire, it's not on you to force that upon somebody.
Hmm. And of course, what's the overall message you're trying to convey in the movie, The Local?
I'd say the overall message is just, like I said earlier, just the whole thing about expectations. Be careful what you expect out of somebody, what you tell somebody, that because you never know how they're going to take what you say, because everyone's fighting a battle that you have no idea about, even your best friends. And like, for example, how many friends or people do you know that are relied on in the friend group to achieve one thing every time, like, or the friend who's always been the shoulder to cry on. And then sometimes that can be very overwhelming for that friend, because where's their shoulder when they need some help? It's something that you see all the time. And I hope that the thing that gets taken away from this is, you just be careful with the expectations you put on people, and you know when and where and how to help if you can.
And I think that's a very important message, and a really good one as well, too, especially winning some awards. And where can we find The Local at, and where can we check out your other movies on your website?
The Local is going to be coming out this August, on August 1st. You should be able to find it on Apple TV and the Google Play Store, maybe Amazon. It will be out on August 1st, though. The distribution's a little rocky right now, but the plan right now is Apple TV and Google Play. For any more updates on that and for where you can find us, you can find the Movie Nights YouTube channel at youtube.com/c/movie nights. And you can follow the Movie Nights social media on Facebook. We're just at Movie Nights. On Instagram, we're at Nights_movie. And on TikTok, we're at Movie Nights. We just started a TikTok. And in regards to the other films, Contrition is currently streaming on Amazon Prime. And the other films you can find on the Movie Nights YouTube channel.
That sounds fantastic. We're looking forward to it. Once again, we're with founder of Movie Nights Productions and award-winning actor Dalton Burdette here on the Mike Widener Show. In just a few more minutes, we love to have you back on. You've been absolutely amazing. And what can we expect from you in 2021 and beyond, Dalton?
2021, you can expect me trying to get as many people as possible to watch The Local, and you can also expect more out of the YouTube channel. We had to take a break from the podcast and the other shows just to finish this movie because it was getting really difficult in post-production.
Hmm.
And all you can expect more updates on upcoming projects. I know in October I'm producing a television pilot that a good friend of mine wrote, and in early next year, probably early next year, we're going to be shooting another short that we hope to turn into a feature. So you'll hear more updates on that.
Wow, amazing. I'm looking forward to it as well. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Biggest influence in my career, I would say there's two separate answers to this. There's the person who I watch their movies and I just fall in love with the idea of movies. And then there's the person who I watch their movies, which made me go, oh, I can make movies. And the people who I just am infatuated with their work and just fall in love with the art form. You have Steven Spielberg, you have Christopher Nolan, Denis Villeneuve, Richard Donner, like I mentioned earlier, and people who make movies that make me just realize that I can do it too, because if they could do it on this low budget level, then that means anyone can do it, and I can do it. And those are filmmakers like Kevin Smith, like Sam Raimi, as I mentioned earlier, like Quentin Tarantino and his early work. And so, yeah, I'd say those are a lot of the influences that I have.
That is so amazing as well, too. And it looks like you're up there as well. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Best advice I can give to anybody is, if you love to do something, do it as much as you can, because you can't steer a car that's in park.
Good point.
Even if you drive 5 miles an hour, as long as you're going forward, eventually you'll get to where you're going.
Sounds like Christopher Columbus. Maybe slow, but you'll get there. I love it. I gotta remember that. So. Once again, we're the founder of Movie Nights and award-winning actor, and also the movie The Local and the Mike Wagner Show, Dalton Burdette. Dalton, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back in 2021 and beyond. Don't forget to keep in touch. Once again, tell us about your upcoming projects, what's your website, how do people contact you, where can people purchase or check out your movies?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, and don't forget your website and where can people check you out at?
The website, like I said, is youtube.com/c/movie nights, and people can check us out on our social medias: Facebook at Movie Nights, Instagram at @nights_movie, TikTok at Movie Nights, along with my personal social media at Dalton Burdette on Instagram.
That is amazing. We're looking forward to it. Once again, Dalton, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely terrific. Looking forward to having you soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back in 2021 and beyond. Don't forget to keep in touch. You've been absolutely terrific, and we wish you all the best. You've got a great future ahead of you.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.